continue Pac-12 Media Day here from Las Vegas, and it's time to talk about the Colorado Buffaloes. It's great to have Tad Boyle with us on the stage now. Coach, welcome. It's great to see you.
Thank you. Good to be with you guys.
We're going to see a couple of your players here coming up, 2 of your top 3 returning scorers, so there's some known quantity, but talk about some of the unknown as well today. How you feeling about this group so far?
I feel really good. You know, Troy Andre or SID told me they picked us 5th. The media did. So
good for you, right?
No, it's fine. But you know, my comment was like, if we're the 5th best team in the Pac-12, Pac-12 is pretty good this year because I like our team. I like the combination of the returning players, our veterans, as I like to call them, and the new young talent is. I think it's about right. And we've had some really good practices. I think we're 12 practices in, and we've this is a competitive group, and we don't even have our big guy Eddie Lampkin practicing with us yet. So when we throw him in the mix, it's gonna get real fun.
On paper, Tad, it looks like the best group you've had in Boulder. I don't know if you'll admit to that or say that, but this is as good a roster as you've had.
It's deep, it's talented. There's no doubt. You know, I go back to that first team that I coached, inherited. You know, all those guys. We were really talented offensively. Obviously, we weren't in the Pac-12 yet by then, but this is a good group. A lot of talent, a lot of depth, and yeah. Look, picking us 5th is great because the pressure's off, right? But the internal, you know, standards and goals we have for this program are much higher than 5th in the league.
We'll send it over to Jesse and get some questions from the media.
Okay, if anybody has any questions, raise their hand. We'll get you a mic, and we'll go on my right in the 3rd row at the top.
Hey Tad, Pat Rooney, Boulder Daily Camera. Wanted to ask about Cody Williams, kind of a 2-parter on him. Obviously the highest ranked recruit you've brought in. One, how are you kind of managing expectations with him? And then 2, just wondering, you know, the makeup of this team, could he possibly benefit from coming in, and he doesn't necessarily have to be your leading scorer, he doesn't have to be your leading rebounder or point guard, if you maybe just come in and play?
Yeah, Pat, two good questions there. The first part, managing expectations, is something we've talked about with Cody. We actually talked about it in the recruiting process because, you know, he kind of came onto the scene and kind of blew up, so to speak, you know, his senior year. So it's not like he was known as a freshman or sophomore in high school like a lot of these kids, but Cody's just, you know, every day he gets better and better. And that's what we've talked about with Cody is just, let's just take each day as it comes. Let's eliminate as much as we can the outside noise. Thank goodness he's not a huge social media guy. He doesn't have a lot of voices in his ears. So that's good. That'll serve him well as this season goes. But I want our fans to understand that there will be a learning curve. You know, and I had a chance to coach Cody this summer with USA Basketball, and you know there was an adjustment there. But managing expectations is going to be big for him. And it's something that we're going to talk about a lot, you know, as the season goes, for sure. The second part of your question is he is definitely going to benefit from guys like Tristan Da Silva and KJ Simpson and Luke O'Brien and some of our veterans, Javon Hadley, Julian Hammond, because the pressure's not going to be on Cody. The expectations are there because, you know, he's got 5 stars next to his name, and there's a reason he has 5 stars next to his name, by the way. You know, some plays he's made in practice, it's like, whoa, okay. That's why that is. But you know, it's going to be a learning curve, and he's going to get better. He's going to be a heck of a lot better in February than he was in January. A lot better in January than he was in December, and he's a heck of a lot better now in October than he was even, you know, when I coached him in June.
We're going to stay on the right in the 3rd row, and then we'll go to Don.
Alexis Davis, Cronkite News. Cody originally said a part of the reason why he committed to Colorado was because of the elite medical programs. Did that surprise you at all? And then the second part is, how does it make you feel that not only are they getting a great athletic experience, but academically it's meeting the same bar?
Yeah, to me that's one of the reasons that Colorado is so special, is we do have the combination of the big time athletics, basketball, now football, obviously. We got big time facilities. You know, we have an MRI machine on our campus. You know, and so not that we want to use it, but it's there if we need to. So we've had, you know, stories where we have had to use that, and it's been there. So yeah, the facilities we have, just the culture around our program, you know, Cody Williams came to Colorado because of relationships and all the things that Boulder has to offer and the university has to offer. And he's not just a one-dimensional young man.
I want to go back to you coaching Cody. You coached Team USA, the U19 team this summer. How much are you able, Tad, to kind of get him up to speed with what he's going to see once he gets to practice at Colorado? Is it, because you got to manage the whole team. So is it not as much as someone would think? Is it more than we would think in terms of him getting to know you and what you're going to expect in September?
Yeah, Don, it's a good question. I've never been in that situation before. It's almost, I've never coached one of my own kids. A lot of people have. I never have. That's how I felt with Cody with Team USA. Like this is my son, but he's part of the team. He's part of the national team, the 19 and under team. So trying to find that balance was key. But Cody's such a coachable young man. He listens. He learns. He self-corrects himself. McKinley Wright was like that when we had McKinley. McKinley would make a mistake, and you'd go get ready to talk to him about it. He'd already know, like, Coach, I know what I should have done there. Cody has some of those same attributes as a freshman.
I was hitting at with Mark Madsen earlier before you came on about some of the things that make college basketball different than it used to be in terms of NIL, transfer portal, those types of things. And I said this to somebody the other day, we were talking about it. We obviously don't root for anybody. We're objective and we want to see everyone do well. But I said, I want to see Tristan DeSilva win Player of the Year in the conference this year. Why? Because it would be 2 years in a row that a 4-year player that stayed and got better won Player of the Year in the conference.
Absolutely. Don, I couldn't agree more. And Tristan DeSilva is what college basketball is all about. To me, he's one of the top players in the game, in the college game today. I mean, he's, if he's not top 10, he's certainly top 20. I mean, I'll go to war with him every night. He's gotten better every year. He's worked on his body every year. He's committed. And, he could have left. He could have gone overseas. He could be playing in Germany for a lot of money right now. But he wanted to finish what he started. And we're thankful that he did. And I couldn't agree more. I hope he can have the year that Jaime had last year for UCLA. And because if he does, it's going to bode well for the Buffaloes.
Okay, we've got two on the left. We'll start with PJ in the third row.
PJ Carlos Smoke, Pac-12 Network. Tad, kind of piggybacking a little bit on what Donnie was just talking about. In the perfect world, you're a veteran coach, have seen a lot of changes in the college game. How would you like to be able to recruit the way things are set up now currently and have your program be where you have more 4-year players, where you have the continuity? You've got two of the best players coming up soon, returning in the conference right now, and kind of your step back a little bit and what's happened in college basketball.
Yeah, PJ, look, we're going to keep doing what we've been doing. We've had success with it. You got two players here, KJ Simpson, who's going into his junior year, Tristan, obviously, his senior year, came in as freshman. Neither one of them redshirted, but we redshirted 2 freshmen last year. This year we might redshirt 1 or 2 more. We'll see how that goes in November. But we're not going to change what we do and how we do it just because the rules are different. Now, does the NIL change things? Absolutely. Are we in that game? Absolutely. You have to be, or you get left behind. But in terms of what we're selling to our recruits and their families, it's not going to change. It didn't change with Cody. It's not changing, this November when we sign the recruits we're going to sign in November. So we're going to keep doing what we're doing. We're going to try to stay out of the transfer portal if we can, because I don't like doing it. I like getting to know guys. I like developing guys, and to see KJ Simpson and where he is today relative to where he was as a freshman is really gratifying to me as a coach, and I think it is to his himself and his parents and all the people that know and love him. So we're going to keep doing what we're doing, PJ.
We're going to go to Casey now in the back left.
Casey Jacobson with Pac-12 Network and Fox. Coach, I'm looking forward to watching the Buffs play this year. Last year, you guys were one of the best defensive teams in the conference in the country. You guys were always on point. Your offense was up and down a little bit. Shooting was an issue. I'd like to hear kind of not only just the players, including Cody, that you're bringing in, but are you tweaking anything offensively? Has perimeter shooting been a big priority for you this offseason?
It has. You know, it's funny, on my desk every day I've got the off-season plans that we make for each one of our players. And there was one for KJ, there was one for Tristan, there was one for Javon Hadley, you named Luke O'Brien, all of our returning guys, right? And shooting was on every single one of their off-season plans. Is we got to become better, more consistent shooters, because we have capable shooters. We really do. We didn't prove it in games last year, but I think. But yeah, we have tweaked our offense a little bit. We're going more to a 5-out offense because part of our personnel. You know, Eddie Lampkin is one kid we did get from the transfer portal. He's a unique player, but he's a lot like Evan Batty in the sense that he really likes to pass the ball. We can play through him, you know, not necessarily always at the low post, but even at the high post. And he's a willing passer. He's a good screen and roll guy. And when Eddie's not on the floor, you know, we got 5 guys that can really space the floor, spread the floor, and so we're going to go more into a 5-out more than a 4-out one in that we've done in the past. That doesn't mean we won't post the ball. It just means that we're going to kind of try to attack mismatches probably more with the players that we have.
Speaking of last year, Ted, you weren't very big either, and it seems like you got bigger this year. Lovering comes in, Lampkin you mentioned. What does that do for not only offensively but defensively? Can you do some different things now that you got some size?
Absolutely, and I think rebounding is always something we always emphasize, you know, and defensive rebounding, you know that. But I think we do have to get better offensively. But I think our length this year, we've got a couple freshman bigs. Bangat Dak, who's 6'9" with a 7'2" wingspan. Hassan Job is a 6'10" kid, freshman that's got great length. Cody obviously has great length, and even our guards, you know, have good wingspan. So we're going to be able to play maybe a little bit more zone, really gap the floor, shrink the floor a little bit, and we're going to switch a lot. You know, we're going to switch a lot of ball screens. So yeah, we're going to. I think defensively we got a chance to be as good as we've ever been, but I think offensively we can take a big step this year.
Coach, I'm not going to ask you to comment on both your players coming in because you already did, so we appreciate your time and we'll bring them in. It's great to see you.
Thanks, Ted.
Yep, these guys are special.
There's Tad Boyle, Colorado Buffaloes, income KJ Simpson, and Tristan Da Silva. And I know you guys were in the back of the room listening to Coach talk about you, and KJ when he said that Tristan's one of the best players in the nation, you were pointing at Tristan. So how does it make you feel, Tristan, to hear that from your coach and see that from your teammate?
I love it. I mean, we always say that we feel like a family of Colorado. So you know, we always hype each other up. We always support each other. So you know, it feels great.
KJ, how was your summer? I know it was frustrating. You got sick at the end of last year, missed the last part of the season. That didn't have any lingering effects. You had a normal off season, were able to work on your game and do all that to get ready for this year.
Definitely going into the summer, it was a little frustrating. Obviously, you know, I didn't feel like I was completely left off the team. Obviously, you know, I had a voice still was trying to be a vocal leader on the bench, but it was disappointing not being able to finish the season with the guys. And so going into the summer, working out, I made sure that was kind of like a chip on my shoulder, adding more fuel to the firepower that I already had. So, but yeah, now I'm good, healthy. Been working on, you know, trying to keep my body healthy and making sure that I unfortunately don't get sick no more. But everything was good in the summer.
We're going to go to the media for a question in a second, but you're the first guy that showed up today wearing a knee pad already, shin guard already, so you're ready to
Never
play.
know when a one-on-one game's going to break out.
Yeah.
Jacobson got his uniform back there, KJ.
Stay ready.
Want to play?
I stay ready. I just want you to know that I stay ready.
All right, Chesed.
All right, on my right in the third row.
Pat Rooney, Boulder Daily Camera. Tristan, you went through the draft workout process during the spring. You had options. You could have gone to the NBA, maybe could have gone back to Europe. How close did you come to do either of those things, and what brought you back to Colorado?
I mean, it was a long evaluation process. You know, I talked to a lot of former teammates, my family, friends, coaches, you know, the people that I worked with over the summer. And ultimately, you know, it got to a point where I recognized that, you know, the options that I can, or the position that I can play myself into this coming year are probably going to put me in a better position, or will put me in a better position to get to where I want to be next year. So it was an easy decision at the end to come back to Colorado, and I stand by that. That was the right decision for me.
What was some of the feedback, Tristan, that you got and what you worked on this summer to try and kind of change what those people think of you?
Yeah, I mean, a lot of people told me I'm on the right path. Working myself up to being on the first team last year, Pac-12 first team, and kind of leading my team to where we were. And I just got to keep working, on the stuff that I work on, keep being versatile, and keep improving in all aspects of the game. And yeah, that's what I'm trying to do, and that's the goal for this year, and I feel like I'm on the right path.
Question for both of you. I'll start with you, KJ. What has it been like to be a student at Colorado the last 2 months?
I mean, yeah, it's been pretty crazy. I mean, I'm pretty sure everybody knows it's like the BET Awards there, but no, yeah, it's been real good, and I feel like for anything, it's been positive. Especially what Coach Prime's bringing to the football team. I mean, the fan base, have been dying, to see a successful year, and so just being able to, already do better than the past years that we've had so far. It's been good. Obviously, we go out, we support our fellow student athletes. Not just us, all the rest of the athletes go support the football team. But yeah, no, it's been fun. It's been real positive energy. Everybody's really, really excited. It's kind of carrying over to basketball season now that it's right around the corner.
How about for you, Tristan? What's it been like? You've been going to football games?
Yeah, it's crazy. Obviously coming from Germany, I don't really, I didn't have the football experience like that. But this year has been wild. I got so many celebrities and so many people popping out to the games. Every weekend, the campus is packed. So it's really fun being out there. And the vibe overall, the student body, everybody's excited. Everybody's, kind of electric on campus. It's a great feeling.
Are you guys going to ask him if he can get the celebrities to come to your games too?
Hey, that would be great. We ain't got no complaints. I'm trying to get some shades though. I'll be honest.
We've had your coach had some questions about Cody Williams having a teammate coming in with so much attention, expectation, all of that. What's that been like? How's he been?
Now, yeah, Cody's somebody I've grown really, really close to on the team. One thing about him, I would say, coming in, he's really, really unselfish. And he's just a teammate that just wants to go out there and do the right thing to win, make the right play. And, I can already see how special of a talent he is. But the crazy thing about it is he's still so young. He still has so much to learn, and he's willing to learn. So he comes to me and Tristan all the time, asks us questions. I mean, we talk a lot outside of practice, hang out, outside of practice and stuff like that. But yeah, he's a special talent.
Isn't that part of your guys' culture, KJ? It seems like Tad forever has run his program a little differently as college basketball has evolved. And I've heard stories about when you guys host recruits on recruiting trips, like the coaches ask you guys, hey, should we recruit this guy or not? Because if they'll fit into your culture or not. So I'm not surprised to hear you talk about Cody like that, because it just seems like there's more stability, more continuity within the program based on how Tad operates it. Says he doesn't want to go in the portal. So I guess my question for both of you is, how nice is that to know that if you're going to be there for 4 years, that you're getting good people coming through there as well as good players?
Now, yeah, I would say, it's crazy you said it. That was the biggest thing that I was kind of worried about. I didn't get to have a visit because of COVID. So coming to Colorado, I was wondering how the atmosphere, the culture would be meshing with the team. And so, but ever since I've been here, that's one thing that Coach Boyle really, really does, and the rest of the coaching staff. They make sure that, they get the right guy, the right fit for the team, not only on the court, but off the court, somebody that, where our bond and chemistry would just mesh together really, really well. So it doesn't take too long for guys to get along with the team, kind of like you said, and that helps.
It kind of helps us bond too as a team, when you get to know these people on the visits, and you feel like, they're the right character to fit in the team. it's really easy to get excited for the next year and get excited for the recruits coming in and kind of gel together as a team. And it gives us confidence too and trust in the coaches that they put their trust in us to evaluate the recruits that we got coming in.
Go to our last media question quickly on my left.
BJ, Carlos Simone, Pac-12 Network. KJ, I want to put you on the spot. Before you were born, I used to coach, believe it or not. What are the things you need to continue to work on to become a more effective percentage shooter?
No, yeah, I mean, there isn't more to it than just working and putting up reps. Obviously, that's a place, and I've talked about it with Coach, worked on it in the summer. Obviously, I'm very capable of being that, and I think more in terms of just me understanding, having the confidence to understand, I'm going to have some nights where I'm not perfect, and, I trust in the work that I put in. I fall back on the principles that I have, that I laid down in practice and the reps I've been putting up in the summer. So I think the biggest thing is just making sure I stay in the gym, keep working at it, and if I have an off night or something, then shake it off, and the next game will be different.
KJ, Tristan, preseason first team All-Leaguers. Congratulations on that, and looking forward to seeing you this year. Good luck this year, guys.
Thank you.
Good luck, guys.
Thank you.
All right, so Tad says if that's the 5th best team in the league, it's a pretty good team. But
They're not the 5th best team in the league. I'm telling you that right now.
All right. There go the Colorado Buffaloes. We appreciate your time. And as we continue here from Media Day, it's time to talk about the Oregon Ducks coming up next.